All right, ladies and gentlemen, another week has passed. It's been 2 weeks. And let me welcome all you beautiful people. Hello, the plumber, Lynn McCurdy, BCF Parts, and Railfan K, and to all of our lurkers out there. Hopefully you guys had a good week. I know it's been 2 weeks since we streamed. Last week we had the San Antonio Monorail Association general meeting, which I am part of their social media team, so that's why typically I don't stream on the second Friday of the month. And then I was going to go on Artie stream that Saturday. However, there was another NMRA meeting that I had to take care of. And yeah, it became a very, very long day. So ended up popping on Split Rock stream for a couple hours, which was fun. Talking about trains, it's always a good thing. But hopefully everyone is doing okay. So I am your Ice Dragon, Ray Ron VR, and welcome to another episode 26 of the Icey Railway Podcast. My goodness, time is definitely flying. So yeah, we are literally 1 weekend away from the National Train Show, what I call the International Train Show because it's the NMRA train show that's being held in Texas over at Grapevine. We will be there. It's about 4 hours away from here in San Antonio. And man, it is definitely going to be, I didn't realize just how busy that weekend is going to be because we ended up cramming a lot of things into just 2 days essentially. Because one thing I didn't realize is I really wanted to see 4018, and I thought that was going to be more of an open area to go see 4018. However, it's actually an enclosed area of the museum. And so that really caused a lot of issues with the schedule and actually caused us to go to a train show a little bit less time than I thought, and so that kind of just threw everything out of whack. So before we get into that though, I'm going to go ahead and run a train, but really not the highlight of the stream today. Today we're just going to talk about kind of the administration stuff when it comes to Grapevine and the train show itself, so there's a lot to kind of go over when it comes to that. There could be some makeshift meet and greets. I'm kind of leaving it out there for you guys who are going. I know there's a couple of you guys going, and so I'll showcase my schedule to you guys, and if you want to meet up, just again respond to that community post over on my channel, and we'll see what we can do. So real quick, let's go ahead and I'll showcase a train that I'm running today. This is a Utah Railway diesel that is my latest acquisition. This is an Athearn ready to roll operators edition, meaning that it has a economy decoder from Tsunami. And it's kind of my maintenance away train. We've got like a Union Pacific plow on the top, or in front I should say, and then just the stereotypical maintenance away car. So I'm going to have this running in the background just so you guys can see it kind of on the railway. And we'll come back to this train a little bit later, but I just want to have something running for you guys in the background as we go through the information here. So I'll just run this around real quick. All right. Let's go ahead and so let's talk about a few things. Fair enough. Yeah, hello. All hellos. Mystic, how are you, good sir? Again, welcome everyone. A little bit more of an admin type of stream today, but again, we got a lot to get through. So let's go ahead and pop on over to the community tab of this channel, and I'll kind of explain what's going to go down. So again, if you're coming to the Grapevine, you guys will know exactly where I'm going to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream. That's still kind of up to debate depending on how the internet situation is going to be. And again, I tend to record more than I live stream in person. Or on the road, I should say. Alright, so this is kind of over on my community tab. I kind of laid out the Grapevine schedule. So on the 24th, my wife and I will be traveling, and we'll probably get there, late in the afternoon because, check-ins 3 p.m. and all that fun stuff. And so there is a potential to do a dinner meetup if you guys are interested. Again, just reply if you guys are going. But for those of you who are watching the stream, lurking, or those who will watch this on the VOD, just reply to this comment post right here to let me know if you're going, and then, maybe we can do a meetup. But again, it's really, up to us as a community if you guys, or I should say a family, if you guys want to meet up. But again, I'm kind of free Thursday late evening. And then on the 25th on Friday, so the actual train show itself doesn't actually open up to 1 p.m. And then I think it closes around 9 p.m. if I remember correctly. I've got the actual schedule, and we'll talk about the actual schedule here in a second. And so kind of the idea is we'll go to the Grapevine Event Center between 9 and 1, and we'll kind of just walk around, take photos and so forth, and give you guys an opportunity to find us and to get one of these bad boys. So if you guys meet me in person, I have these holographic stickers to give out, and I bought a whole bunch of them. So again, these are, just something as an encouragement. If you guys want to meet me in person, I got these holographic stickers versus the non-holographics that I'll send out in the mail. So you can kind of see the difference here. So again, kind of the left one's holographic, the right one's kind of plain. So that's the idea. So I know everyone's all about these stickers, and I figure, if you take the extra mile and try to go to train shows and meet up with us, I'll give you something a little bit special, just appreciation for making the effort to come out. So one thing I do plan on doing is I do have a lot more of the non-holographic ones. Operation Winter's Coming, which is basically going to be my big effort to get these mailed out. I'm slowly and surely getting the addresses of those who want these stickers. Again, if you want these stickers, just email me, rayronvr@protonmail.com. It is also on my About page, I believe, on the channel. Let me just make sure that's correct. Yes, so it's on the About as well. Yes, it is the NMRA train show in Grapevine. It is a sub-city of Dallas. A Dallas suburb, essentially. So yeah, eventually, Operation Winter's Coming, which is basically I want to mail out a crap ton of stickers. So yeah, definitely something I want to do after the train show. But again, if meet me in person, we got these holographic ones that I'll be giving out. Copy that, plumber. Sweet. But yeah. And that's, it happens. My other goal is to hopefully, I still got to work out the logistics, but I want to go to Timonium next year in February. That one's probably the more, I cannot do the one in October because I got so many other things going on. Potentially the one in January, February, I think it's January. But I want to make it out to Timonium. That's a huge goal of mine. So, still playing that one by ear. Okay, so yeah, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. we'll just do a walk around. Now, we can't physically go to the convention, inside the convention itself, when they have all the clinics and so forth, because I only paid to get into the train show proper. So that's on Friday afternoon and all of Saturday. Now, what made this more complicated is the 4018. I really, since I'm down there, I wanted to kill two birds with one stone by going to see the 4018, because the 4018 is the big boy that I have running typically on the layout. Yeah, I want to go to Timonium, so more to come on that one. It'll be a lot of wheeling and dealing, because with my wife and I to figure out pets. That's the big one right now. So yeah, what's weird about the big boy 4018 is that, and I probably will go ahead and showcase this now. So 4018 is part of the Museum of the American Railroad. So the issue with the 4018 is that I thought it was going to be a free open roam walk around of the main engines that they have outside the museum. Unfortunately, it is gated, and it is a mandatory walk around tour, meaning that you gotta get the tickets. And as soon as I realized this, I booked my tickets because I didn't want them getting sold out, because it is a first come, first serve. And since the NMRA convention is there, I was afraid that I was gonna get sold out and miss my opportunity to see 4018. But I do have tickets, And so kind of on the agenda is that Saturday is going to be busy. As we go back to the schedule here, that Saturday, the train show opens between 9 and then whenever they close. And so the day is going to be split up into 3. So basically in the morning, between 9 and 11, we'll be walking around, taking footage. You guys can come see us, say hi, whatever. Don't be afraid to, say hi if you see us. And then at 11 o'clock is going to be my official kind of meet and greet with any other YouTubers out there or fans or family members and so forth. At 11 a.m., I'm getting scanned at the Mini Prince booth. So if that is a solid time for us. So if you miss us doing the walk around on Friday, if you don't do a dinner meetup on Thursday, that is the big one that I'll have all of my cameras to record. I'll have my stickers ready to go. Right now, I am going into costume. I'm hoping it works, but it's all going to depend on timing of everything because I didn't realize just how much limited time I have on Saturday. So we're trying to do a costume type of theme for the scan. That's going to happen between 11 a.m. and noon. If the scan goes fast, it'll probably take like 5 minutes. I'm hoping maybe 10 minutes to work out details because it is quite a complicated costume that I'm going to be wearing. And so it depends on how long that's going to be. But I'm hoping we'll get at least half an hour at the Mini Prince booth just to, I'll probably end up live streaming from there too, talking with Bernard and all that fun stuff. So, and I will give you wing hugs, my good friend. Yep. Yep. So, I don't know, BCR parts. I don't know. You have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. But again, it just depends on timing. That's going to be the key in all this. So, we'll see. I'm trying to make it worthwhile. I'm hoping I can pull this off because it is quite complex. So, If I won't be live, I'll see if Bernard wants to live stream it, because I'm pretty sure he'll try to live stream it. It's quite a unique thing that I'm trying to pull off, but we'll see. Again, no promises. I do have a backup kind of scan, which is basically me holding some GoPros that I typically do for my recording at Samra. So it's kind of a plan B, but I'm trying to get plan A squared away. It just depends on timing. So again, 11 a.m. from noon at Mini Prince, U.S. Central Time. So we'll see what happens, and that's where I'll do my version of a YouTube meet and greet. So I'll be there for an hour, and then I'll go from there. Oh, I noticed you, Warren. I'm glad you were able to drop by. Last collection, nice. I'm glad you were able to stop by. So yeah, I'm really excited for this because I just don't know how it's going to go. Again, I know there's some other people going. So I'm hoping that we can get the message out there. So again, this is what I have. Again, if you guys are going to be coming, just comment on this so that way we can potentially get some more meetups going. But, it's like how Sparky said, we're in charge of our own meetups, and this is my meetup that I'm going to be doing. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for this. I'm like a 2-year-old. I'm giddy with excitement. As Humpty Dumpty. I mean, I've got the arch for it. I'm not gonna lie. I've got this. I do have the gaming arch Humpty Dumpty. I don't know at this rate. If you push me over, I may break. Okay. So, anyways, so once that's done, then my wife and I, we got tickets to go to the Museum of the American Railroad. They have a couple layouts that are there, and also they've got the crown jewel of why I want to go there, which is our Big Boy 4018. So that way we can have our first official Big Boy on the channel. So it is going to be a jam-packed on Saturday, and then we'll be leaving potentially that Sunday or Monday, but we won't be doing anything after that because it's going to be a long day. We got 4 hours to drive back, and that kind of concludes everything. The following stream after that, we'll do kind of a NMRA kind of wrap-up stream. So kind of this will be part 1, then we'll do part 2 with all the footage that we got and so forth. So it's gonna be a busy day, very, very busy. So so some other things I want to talk about. That's kind of the schedule. So I'll go ahead and just kind of throw in the link here. So that way you guys can see the community tab. So that's where you can find my official schedule for the Grapevine train show. Okay, so some other things I want to talk about when it comes to Grapevine. So this is more of situational awareness. So if you guys don't know, it's going to be in the great state of Texas here in US of A. And right now, this is the Dallas area. So if you guys didn't know, Dallas-Fort Worth is basically a mega metropolis. I forget the kind of the official term, but it's basically two cities into one giant city. You've got Dallas on the right-hand side, and then you got Fort Worth. So Grapevine is actually the north of it. So you can see there's a whole bunch of sub-cities, subdivisions, whatever you want to call it, suburbs. And Grapevine is just a suburb of this mega city of Dallas. So you got like Arlington's in the middle, Plano, Texas up here. Frisco is up here-ish. No, Frisco's up here where the big boy is at. You have a family in Dallas? Nice. Yeah, Timonium's gonna be interesting because Timonium we gotta fly, and that's the problem. Because flying raises the cost, and then we gotta room and board our pets, and that's where Timonium gets tricky for us. And so there's planning around that. So, and Grandma, I love that show. Nice. Okay, so right here, this is Grapevine. I can't take that many days off. That's the other problem with work. So that's why it's got to be a short weekend. It's going to be a short weekend, and then we got to fly down there. So it gets tricky. So more to come on Timonium. So right here is the convention center. It's like this one. It's a huge, giant resort. I'm not gonna say where I'm gonna be. You know, obviously for security reasons, I'm not gonna say where we're gonna be at the hotel. Obviously, it's not gonna be here, but because we gotta be pet friendly and all that. But anyways, this is kind of the resort, and this is where the actual event center is going to be. This is where Trainshow is going to be with the clinics and all that. Now, for us, if you guys were interested, the big boy is actually at the museum, and it is way up here in Frisco, Texas. So basically, you go down here, you take the 121, which we're going to talk about these highways in a second. Because if you guys didn't know, there's a lot of tolls. So all the way up here is where the big boy is located. So this is the Museum of the America Railroad, and they've got a whole bunch of static displays, and I believe out here is where that big boy 4018 is. I don't know if I can actually see it here. Let's see. Let's see if we can see the big boy. I think it was this one maybe. Yeah, but anyways, out here is where the big boy 4018 is stored. And this part I thought was open to the public. Unfortunately, oh, here we go. So yeah, it's right here. This is where they have it on display. So there's 4018. And unfortunately, this is all guided tours, so that's why you actually got to pay to get in. I think it's like $15 a person. So just something, if you want to see 4018, you got to pay for it. And make sure you sign up for it early because it could get sold out, considering that once everyone else finds out that, hey, 4018's over here, it could sell out fairly quickly. So, but yeah, there's a museum. There's 4018. I would imagine they would have it back over here, but we'll get a lot of recording for that. So, but yeah, we'll be here from 1 till 3. I think it's like a 2-hour tour. I think the outside is like 30 minutes, and then you get access to basically everything else. You get access to this Traintopia, which is a whole bunch. I think they got like G-scale, HO layouts that are there. So you get access to that as well. So that's going to be Saturday afternoon. That's going to be the second half. So unfortunately, with this museum, they're only open, from what I found out, Friday and Saturdays on their non-summer schedule. And so that's what threw the whole schedule out of whack for us. So unfortunately, we're taking up some of the train show time to go see 4018, but I think it'll be worth it because I want to get a big boy on this channel. So, and considering we're so close, definitely want to do that. So, yep, there's the Convention Center, that's where the museum is. So something else I want to talk about is the highway system. So if you're going to come to Dallas to this train show, make sure you understand the routes that you are taking, because as you can see, Dallas area has a lot of toll roads, so it's something to take into consideration when you're down here. This is the NTAA, I think it's the Texas Transportation Association or Authority or whatever. Let's see, I can't remember the exact. But anyways, this NTAA is in charge of the tolls, and make sure you visit this website if you're going to visit the area, so that way you can register your car with the license plate, or if you're getting a rental car, just make sure you talk with the rental agency on how the tolls work for the car. But definitely something you got to take in consideration, because there's tolls all over the place. When I went to Dallas the first time, learned that kind of the hard way, because otherwise, if you're not registered with the NTTA, they'll take a picture of the license plate and then mail you the bill. This way, you can put like some money down on your account, so that way it automatically takes it out. But I'm not going to go into too many details with that. I will go ahead and post this in the chat for you guys to look at. But definitely something to consider when you're going into this area. Okay, so let's also talk about, I think we're done with that, Okay, so again, this is the National Model Road Association. I think they do have, yeah, they do have a speed pass system. That's where you make an account and all that. I'm planning on doing that. I just don't know the vehicle I'm going to be taking. Either my wife's car or my car, so still haven't figured that one out yet. Yeah, they are good roads. Yeah, definitely super maintained. And fast, too. But definitely something to take in consideration. All right, so let's talk about, so again, we talked about kind of the dates here when we're going. So let's take a look at the timetable. So if you guys didn't know, this is actually a massive event. Okay, the plumber, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much, good sir. Again, go follow, always one. We got all sorts of awesome streamers here and content creators. So again, the plumber has his weekly show, or I should say, he's part of the Cap Crew Wednesdays. And then, yeah, it's all that fun, good stuff. So this is the timetable of what's going on. So basically, it technically starts tomorrow, and you guys are going to start seeing a lot of content creators, those who are vendors, a lot of NMRs being there. There's going to be a lot of clinics, those who are, you know, setting up layouts, vendors, and so forth. So Saturday is when the NMRA board meets. Sunday, things start going. There's a lot of clinics. And then Monday, things start rolling. So there's a lot of clinics. There's a lot of layout tours, because it's not just the convention proper. They're going to a whole bunch of different areas. There's a whole bunch of home tour layouts that are going on, a lot of clinics. They're going to the BNSF dispatch center as well. So there's a lot of good stuff, and I wish we could have done the whole thing. But obviously, with pets, that's the biggest problem, because then we got to get hotels for all this, and it was easily we could have easily ballooned this cost. And so for now, we're just focusing on the main train show. But yeah, you can see a lot of clinics here. They got contests for models. Obviously, if you're going towards your MMR, this is where they can grade those things. Mom and son, train rail fans, how are you doing? Tammy and Ray, your layout is awesome. I love it. So Wednesday again, more of the clinics, contest judging, lots of arts and craft, mini diorama, a lot of work sessions, workshops. So it's like, if you can afford doing the whole week, this is a worthwhile convention. And this is a traveling convention, so Last year, I think they were in St. Louis, or that may have got. I don't know if that was canceled. But anyways, I think they were in St. Louis last year. They're in Texas this year, and then I think they're gonna go back to California, Long Beach, next year. So that's why we're definitely going to this one, because it's one of those potentially once in a lifetime opportunities. And considering the price, is definitely going to be the most expensive train show to go to, just by entry cost. But we'll see what happens. This will be the first train show too that can actually go to the manufacturers and distributors, because they're going to be there. Rapido has announced like a U23 or something like that. They just announced. I think Bachman's got a few things they're announcing, so we'll be able to capture all those booths, which I can't wait for. I'm definitely excited for. Obviously, Scale Trains is going to be there. Obviously, Bernard from Mini Prince is going to be there. So I'm definitely excited, and the layouts as well. Okay, so Friday is where things get really important for us. Yeah, I need to come to the Twin Cities. Yeah. So Friday is where things get really interesting. So again, my wife and I, we will be at the convention center around 9 a.m. It gives us time to sleep in, get some breakfast privately, and then we'll be over at the main building at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll just walk around, because like there's like a little garden area that's in the center of the hotel and the convention center that I think we have access to. And so we'll just do like kind of a meet and greet. I'll probably kick off a stream. I'm really feeling I'll do a live stream there to meet you guys, and we can socialize and all that, and just relax, chill, be nerds when it comes to model railroading. And then once the train show is open, so this is a national train show, it's open to the public. So that's this little guy right here. That officially opens at 1 p.m. So once that happens, we'll probably get in line around 12:30 to get into the main building for the train show. And then at that point, we'll be roaming around all of the other places. I know there's a big demand for live streaming, and there's logistics. It's a logistical thing that I'm trying to figure out, because I want to, obviously, I want to do a lot of shorts. I want to I'll have the body cam on my shoulder, so you'll probably get like an entire experience cut. It's probably going to be like 10 hours worth of footage. I'm just going to just do a raw upload so you can get the whole experience. And then you'll get my camera on my wrist to do the more focused layout tours. So my number one mission right now is recording, but I may do some pop-up live streams. I cannot guarantee that because of the internet. That's my biggest issue with that. So I'll see what I can do. Boxcar the Husky, how are you? Yep. So I can't make promises on live stream, because this will be the first time I'll probably live streaming on location. And I want to read the chat too, so I don't know. We'll see. I may do like a test stream tomorrow from the club on it, but I don't know. We'll see. But one thing's for sure, you'll get a ton of videos after this. There will be a lot. There will be a lot. To the point that I'll probably do a lot of daily videos on this event. And considering that we're going to be seeing the 4018 on top of that. Can't wait. Okay, so from you vibing? Yeah. That's awesome. It's always a good thing. So the National Train Show opens to the public, and I think it actually closed a little bit early on Friday at 6 p.m. So again, from 1 till 6 p.m., we will be walking around the convention. So one thing I do want to, again, emphasize, don't be afraid. If you see me there, feel free to introduce yourself. Make sure one thing I do ask is say your internet name, so that way I know exactly who I'm talking to, because if you say your first name, real life name, it'll be kind of awkward, I'm not going to lie. But if you say, hey, this is Mystic or Boxcar or whatever, it'll make it a lot more easier for me to make that connection. Another thing I want to show you guys, again, if you find us at the convention, I got the holographic stickers, if you guys weren't here earlier, that I will be giving out. Again, these holographic stickers you can only get when you meet me in person. I'll eventually be mailing out the non-holographic stickers when I get back. So one big way to find me at the convention is that I'm going to be wearing this backpack. I've always had a camera backpack when recording, And this backpack is how I get my POV perspective because I put a GoPro on my sleeve here. And basically, I just do recording. So the last two train shows that I did, the Samurai train show and the New Braunfels train show, I was recording from my GoPro from a POV experience. So just look for the pins. Again, we got a whole bunch of pins here from scale trains, from around the layout, and mini prints. So I'll be wearing this backpack when walking around. So if you see a train backpack, you'll find me. And then obviously, you know, I've got the schedule for when we'll officially do a meetup. Like I said, the big one's going to be yes. So what I'm going to be doing, Mom and Son, is I will be doing, it's going to be Operation Winter's Coming. It's basically, once I'm done with the train show, I'll be mailing out these non-holographic stickers to everyone. I've slowly started my first wave of getting them ready. I sent a test experiment to Papa John to see if it'll get there and to make sure my mailing system is correct. And so the non-holographic ones I will be mailing out. But again, I do have your address, Mom and Son. But if you want these non-holographic stickers, again, just email me at rayrunvr@protonmail.com. You'll find that in the About section of this channel. And then whatever address you want me to mail these to, and then we'll get these out after the train show is done. Because I've been focusing a lot behind the scenes on the production side for the train show. That's what's kind of got me from preventing me to email or mail these out first. But that's the goal. So you at least get a sticker. I just want to, you know, those who actually spend the time and money to go out to meet me in person, you know, I that's why I have the holographic one. Just more of a bigger thank you for taking that time. And I know that I need to try to make it to other train shows. Like I said, I'm talking with the rifle right now to figure out how we're going to do Timonium in January. I believe it's January. So that way you guys can get a chance to get these holographic ones. So I know it's on me as well to try to get to you guys as well. But there's a lot of logistical issues with Timonium right now because flying is involved. Okay, so let's head back. And let me go ahead and let me drop this down as well in the links here for you guys. So if you guys can't see on the screen, there's the link for the NMRA convention. Yeah, I can't do the one in October. Unfortunately, with this trip coming up to Dallas, I can't afford the one in October. So the next big one's going to be probably January. Split Rock, how are you, good sir? Hopefully you are doing well, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Again, this is going to be more of, I do have a train running in the background. It's the same one that I ran on your stream, Split Rock, the Utah kind of Manta way. But kind of the big focus of the stream is, where can you find me at the NMRA train show? It's okay, Box, and I understand that, you know, that's the issue with these train shows. Sometimes it's just too far out. I was just very, very blessed and fortunate that this NMRA one happened when I'm here in San Antonio. So it's my job now to try to get to these other ones. And I know Timonium is the big one. It's definitely one I want to do. Also, if there's another big YouTube meet and greet in Colorado, I know those are the two big ones I'm trying to work out next year. If at least the YouTube meet and greet next year, if that one actually gets announced. But I know Timonium is a solid date, so I still got to work things out. But crossing my fingers on that one. I'm giddy with excitement, real fan. You know how it is. You know, we talk a lot, Samra. I'm counting down the days. I can't wait to meet some of you guys. Cannot wait. January Amherst. Sorry, that's what I meant. I got the terms so mixed up. It is Amherst. Yes, January. That's the one I'm trying to go to because I know that is the holy grail of train shows. So that's the one that I'm trying to work out. Because next year we won't have the NMRA because I'm not going to go to one in California. Since that show is not happening next year, we're trying to put in the budget between me and my wife to go to the Amherst one in substitution of, the big one. Because we want to go to one big train show a year. So yeah, Amherst is the one that we're trying to work out. So yeah, the convention center, the National Train Show. Yeah, there will be. Absolutely. Unfortunately, not BCF parts, and that deals with my work. I only have X amount of time to take off from work, and that's why I've really got to balance which major. If I'm going to take time off, I gotta line up with these bigger ones. I wish I can travel more, but I personally can't just because there's so many different things. All right, so the National Train Show is open to the public, again, 1 till 6 p.m. And so we'll be walking around, we'll be recording a lot. Again, look for the backpack. If I'm recording, feel free to interrupt me. Again, I cannot stress that enough because my interaction between me and you, I value that a lot more than, the content that I'm recording. Because, we can record that later down the road. I want to meet with you guys. That's primary number one for me. And if you do meet me and you guys have your own YouTube channel, I want to get a shout out to you guys to advertise on the channel and so forth. So there's a lot of reasons why I do not mind you guys interrupting us. I've heard of Trainfest, yes. Yep, I've heard of it. I have heard of it. So that is Friday for us. That's our schedule on Friday. Like I said, Saturday is going to be the big one. So the National Train Show is open to the public. Oh, it's actually at 10 o'clock. I thought it was at 9. Okay. So we'll still be there at 9. So we'll probably get in line at 9, get a chance to probably do a mini meet and greet. From 10 to 11, though. All right, Mom, son. Tammy and Ray, take it easy. I know it's definitely late for you guys. Have a good night. So Saturday, like I said, Saturday's going to be busy. So from 10 to 11, well, probably from... yeah, that's going to be busy. That's going to be really busy because I thought we opened up at 9. So yeah, from 9 to 10, we will be at the place itself, so that's fine. From 10 to 11, we'll probably continue to walk around, but then I got to get my costume ready to go by 11, because again, from 11 till noon, that is going to be the big one for me. I cannot emphasize this enough. That's going to be my official YouTube meet and greet. I'll start getting scanned at 11 at Bernard's Mini Prints booth, and then we'll hang out till noon. So if you want to come by, if you want to get the holographic sticker, you know where to find us. And I want to make sure that is set in stone, so you have at least an hour where you know exactly where I'm at. Take pictures, I can give you guys stickers and so forth. So from 11 till noon, I will be at the Mini Prints booth getting scanned. But it should take about 10 minutes to get scanned, and then go from there. And then after we get scanned, that we can't stay at the train show because once 12 o'clock hits, we got to transition from the train show to the museum to go see 4018 because we got to be on the road for it because we've got a 1 o'clock show to get there. So that way we can go see the museum and so forth. So yeah, that pretty much concludes it. Now the issue, again, Sunday, I gotta double check with the hotel to make sure if we're booked for Sunday or if we have to leave on Sunday. Because the issue with Sunday, I don't have tickets for Sunday. Because the way they sold the tickets for the NMRA show is either you you get a 2-day pass. They didn't have tickets for the full 3, which I think is stupid, but it is what it is. You either get a ticket for Friday and Saturday. You can either get a ticket for Saturday and Sunday, or you get one ticket for either Friday, one ticket for Saturday, or one ticket for Sunday. And the way it kind of just worked out is we had to do it Friday, Saturday. If there's an opportunity to go back on Sunday, we would have to pay at the show itself, which I don't think I'm going to do. And depending on my hotel reservations. But we're planning on leaving Sunday. So that's pretty much the Grapevine train show. Gaylord, Texas. So again, the official schedule is on. I made a community post about this. And make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you follow this community post closely because I will be posting updates. So if something comes up, I will post some more details under this feed or thread or whatever you want to call it. Just noticed something. So yeah, that's the game plan. So Thursday we arrive. There's a potential for a meet and greet for dinner. Again, when we get there, we'll look at the community post, and if no one's interested, then we'll just do our own thing. But this is my attempt to do a meet and greet down here. So I've just been listening to other streams, and apparently there's a good chunk of people going. So this is just my attempt. Friday is dedicated to the train show itself, and this is where we'll do the majority of our recording, videos, shorts, all that good stuff. Saturday is the big meet and greet day. We'll walk around a little bit, and then at the mini Prince booth from 11 a.m. to noon, and then we'll be departing to the Museum of the American Railroad at 1 p.m. to visit Big Boy 4018. So I'm definitely excited to meet you guys. And if all goes well, you'll have a mini print of Ray-Ron to go on your layout. Well, there will be. It just depends if I'll be with the costume or not costume. But either way, you'll have a Ray-Ron on your layout. That's the goal. That is the goal. But I am definitely excited for this. Absolutely excited for this. All good. All good. I understand that Texas is definitely out of the way for a lot of people. So I understand. Just like how Timonium is just too far for me. And the West Coast and the St. Louis RPM. But we'll see. A lot of plans are happening for next year. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about. That was pretty much all I had about the train show. So let's talk about the layout. So running around right now, we've got our Utah Railway pushing around the main subway train. And a few things I did change in the background. So I finally was able, if you guys didn't see my screenshots from the community tab, and I'll show you guys here too. Aww. I lived in North Dakota, so I kind of feel that. And I lived in Montana. North Dakota gave me my coldest recorded temperature of -75 with wind chill. So I feel that sentiment. Okay, so kind of something new is this guy right here. Now, if you guys notice, we've, and of course we get photobombed. So there's the Utah Railway. Pushing our snowplow and pulling our massive way train. So I'm starting to finally experiment with this concept of a removable modular scenery. So you can kind of see off to the right there, I basically have this planks of wood that I've just used the Craig system. If you haven't watched Dunados, James, he shows off the Craig system really well. And I swear by that tool. It is such a great tool because it gives you your joints when it comes to screws and so forth, so you can get that 90-degree angle. I also use 90-degree clamps as well to get that. And I'll go ahead and bring it up on, let's see here, bring it up on my community tab as well. Okay, so this is basically what this looks like. So using the Craig system, I basically have screws in that connect these pieces of wood together. And it's kind of like a little S here or Z or whatever you want to call it. And this is basically clamped to the side of the modular. Now, this is a prototype. For me to understand how I will need to build this and how I can mass produce it in the future. Eventually, right now, this is only held by 2 screws. It sounds as ghetto as it gets and as sketch as it gets, but it's actually pretty stable. I was quite surprised. But what I want to do is eventually put like 90-degree shelf supports on the bottom of this, so that way the weight is directed towards the clamped piece of wood. So that's kind of what I want to do. And then this piece right here, what I want to take it one step further. You know, we were talking about having the magnetic kind of surface boards. So that way, I basically pretend it's like a piece of styrene or a piece of wood. And I'll put a piece of magnet into this wood proper. And I'll put another piece of wood or that styrene with the other magnet. So that way I can interchange what the display on the bottom is going to be. So it can be either grass, it can be, in this case, I would need a some sort of streets with some sidewalks. So that way this little scene will make a little bit more sense. And you know, I don't want to limit myself by just putting paint on there and then putting one particular scenery, because then I'm stuck with that. I want to make it interchangeable, so that way I never get bored with the layout. And this is kind of another side piece of that. So I basically have a D-clamp down here that you would typically use to clamp the modulars together. But instead of doing, you know, modular to modular track, it's just going to be scenery. So it gives me the world's most flexible, well, I don't want to say that because that's more absolute. But it just gives me a crap ton of flexibility and interchangeability. And where I want to take this is I eventually want to take this with ops. So imagine a world where this particular layout, if I get bored of one particular industry, okay, let's go ahead and declamp this, or even better yet, since I've got the interchangeable pieces that are magnetized to these bench work essentially, I can change the industry on demand because I've got the track so close back here. Again, the camera kind of does it justice here, so let me go to all the cameras. So for here, for example, I've got this little, you know, building here, shop or whatever, and what I can do now is, since that's so close to the tracks, I can make an industry out of it. So now I can put a piece of boxcar there, and I can start experimenting with proper operations and industry. So that is where my end goal is going to be, because just like Heath, I got the ops bug, and I got it bad. I got it really, really bad. And it was because we had our recent Lone Star Region NMRA meeting here in Texas, in San Antonio. And this guy presented, I think, I'm not going to say the name, but he's a master model railroader. And he made this presentation about industry. And it was a great presentation. And it got me really hooked. And Samurai does do operations, and I've been doing that as well, but I haven't been really capturing operations on Samurai. And the reason for that is because that is my escape when I'm actually working on the layout, putting cars in and out and so forth, working in industry. And I do have one video on this channel of episode 1 of operations, and you guys can kind of see that. But I finally learned the layout enough that tomorrow I'm going to start getting trained as dispatch. And that's the content I really want to capture for you guys. So it's my goal to get a video of dispatching the Samurai layout in operation. So that's my end goal, and I'm getting closer to that when it comes to operations. But what this allows me to do here is that I can live stream very, very simple operations, and that's the next level I want to kind of take with this layout, with this kind of design. So I'm really, really excited where I can take it. So let me go ahead and move this box car out of the way so you guys can at least see the scenery. But that's kind of the concept. It's a little rough right now, but I just wanted to make sure that it was practical. And the thing that's kind of holding me up right now from doing all of the turns and all the sidings is just the price of wood. And with this train show that's coming up, everything financially is going to that train show. Once things start settling down, I want to add a whole bunch more industry. So yeah, that's kind of the one new addition. And then I do have a camera on there that I will showcase just for the S&Gs. So this is kind of my roof camera from that building. This is the Swift building. It is a meat plant, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we can see it more better from this angle. But yeah, I just put a couple buildings there. We've got a farmer dealing with some cows next to the layout there. But I've always liked this idea of just interchanging scenery. I'm that type of person that I don't want to do a permanent layout just yet, because I want to see just how far I can take it. So good, very good question, BCR Parts. Very, very, very good question. Okay, so where do I want to start with this? Because this is a very good question and a little bit complex. Okay, so let me kind of take it from the beginning. This entire layout is run off of Digitrax. And so where I need to take it is I do have some block detection. And I just realized I'm going to need to bring this up to really answer this question. I am using Digitrax to do the block occupancy. And the way I'm doing that is just block detecting the main line, basically the center rail, off of each of these modulars. I'm still working the wiring because it's not conventional for the block detection system that I'm using with Fremo, because Fremo uses a different system than I'm doing. Let me load this. Yeah, let me get something up for you really quick here. I'm hoping this is going to be quick. We'll see. Come on. Okay, awesome. And hopefully this will capture it. Yes, okay. So to kind of answer your question, so I have this set up via JMRI. Again, the major goal for this layout is this is going to be the dispatching. This board that you see on JMRI is going to be on a future expansion with a monitor to my top right. I'll eventually have my chat room on the top left with you guys, so that way I can see you guys permanently. And right now, I have about half the layout detected on the main line, which is the center line. For now, I'm not going to block detect the sidings because that's going to be a giant headache wiring-wise to figure out just using Digitrax permanently. But for right now, I actually have each of these modulars electrically isolated from the entirety of the layout. So basically, I'm feeding the mainline power, or rail A, rail B, to one modular, and then I bring it back. Then to the next modular, and I bring it back. So that way I can do my block detection for my mainline. Again, this is not normal for Freemo. Freemo does not do this at all. This is kind of the way I want to set it up for right now. But basically, I have my block detection system that I'm using right now. It's called a PM74 from Digitrax. The PM74 allows you to do a couple of things that I kind of like. It does the block separation, so each modular is their own separate block. Again, kind of overkill, because normally you just have like a couple blocks. I'm going to basically have like 16, 17 blocks for each modular. Definitely something that's not typical. But I've got at least 3 blocks that are set up, and you can kind of see it working in NMRA down here where it's red and highlighted. That's where the train is at. Now, it's not fully operational yet. It's still in the works. But I've got a PM74 that breaks up the sections. The PM74 also is connected via LocalNet to my DCS52, which has a PR4 in it that gives me the USB interface to talk to JMRI, as you see down below. The PM74 also gives me a circuit breaker protection. So it is a block detection, it does the power block splitting, and it gives me circuit breaker protection like you normally see in a PSX. And that gives me, I think, 4 blocks. And in the future, I actually want to get, like, I think it's called a BPX88 from Digitrax, where I can have that capability up to 8 blocks. So that way I can get more block detection to complete the JMRI dispatch board. And eventually, the BPX88 does transponding, so I know exactly which train is on that section. Because the way I have it set up right now, you can't tell what train is which. So you can see the train's on that modular, so you can see the red over there. And then now it's going on to the second modular. You can see it highlighting there, and that's where it kind of stops. Maybe I can fix that real quick. Let's see here. Let's see. I'll do that later. That's gonna get complicated really quick. I don't want to get too technical. So to answer your question, I'm definitely using JMRA, and my block track occupancy detection system is through Digitrax. And this is the end state of my railway. My main big goal is to have this entire layout kind of controlled from here in my dispatching. Railfan, no. I'm going to bring my Chicago Northwestern. I've got 2 extra coaches I need to fix that I told you about. This train's going to be more complicated to get to center layout because I got to swap out the wheels, which I think I'm running out of metal wheels, so I got to order some more. And it's also got the proper spring trucks, which I hate. Because if you lose one of those springs in the trucks, that truck system is toast. So I may have to 3D print some more trucks to replace the ones that are on these maintenance away cars. So it's a much more bigger project than I thought when I discovered those trucks had the proper springs. So for now, it's just going to be a stream exclusive until I get all of that kind of squared away. So Hopefully that answers your question, BCI Parts. I know it's a little technical, but and yeah, even I got a little. This is controlling the switch behind me, which is Phoenix Point. I got to program my 2 switches up here. I just remembered from the Wave modular. So yeah, it's definitely a work in progress. Boxcar, I do have a Discord server, but I may end up nuking it and redoing it. I don't know. I don't advertise it, but I do have one. And I'm not active in Discord. Yeah, no worries, Rofan K. I got you. Yeah, the Discord server is not active. It's there, but no one uses it. That's why I got into a habit of not checking it, which I know is bad on me. I just got so many other projects that I'm working on. But yeah, I think the link is in the description. Or you can find, I think, you can find it on my website too, rayronvr.com. So, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Papa John, how are you, good sir? I'm glad you got your parts. Yeah, I'm gonna be redoing my Discord server a little bit. All right. But yeah, eventually I need to. Okay, once this train show is done in Grapevine, I've got my eyes on the next piece of the Trice equipment to finish this block detection. That's it's gonna be my next goal, my next big project. Man, you got a train show every weekend, Papa John. That's awesome. Glad to hear. And yeah, as I told you, I'll get those 50 out to you. Yeah, I'm really glad those parts worked. Alright, let's, we haven't gotten to the 360 cam in a hot minute, so let's, get this. Alright. Let's go to our new city here. I think I'm just gonna call this like the Swift scene because we got the Swift plant back there. But I'm getting more and more excited for these modular terrain pieces because it's really going to bring this layout to life. What color scheme? So it's the old Tyco. Is it the blue scheme? So, my backstory with the Wave modular, I'm just gonna say that the water wasn't there originally, and so the railroad hasn't come in and fixed it yet. I still gotta do the rocks and everything. Oh, the red ones? Okay. Yeah, I gotta build up kind of the rocks on the siding there. That's why the water, the blue is not all the way up against the switch, because I still gotta put the rock formations and everything. So there will be some flood mitigation. But we'll just say that the water came after. A lot of rain happened, and so the lake expanded a lot more than the railway expected. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. There we go. Phoenix Point, take you there. But man, yeah, I got bitten by the operations bug. So I will be using NMRA to do my switch lists. I think I'm gonna go that route just for the ease of use. But there's something about card carts that just fascinates me. I like the idea that you have this card for each car, that you carry that around. I want to experiment with that too. And then I also saw one that the dispatcher types using like a wireless system that prints out like it's like a receipt printer, and it prints out like the train order. And that was really fascinating too. And again, this will just be for my private use to kind of role play essentially. I won't have anyone else kind of working this layout. It's just so small that I'm just gonna solo it. But there was a great piece of advice for that NMRA meeting that we had last week. Because one thing I haven't announced yet that I'll go ahead and announce, I officially became an NMRA member, so I am a member. My wife, I got to register my wife as well. We'll both be NMRA members, and we're going to start going down the rabbit hole of MMRs. Because that's something that I really want to get. And I've had plenty of mentors that, and even Samra has a lot of MMRs as well. So I'm excited to go down that rabbit hole too. There you go, Papa John. Get those trains. I don't know who does the hot box detectors. Like, I'm not gonna go that prototypical. That's just a little too much for me. Oh shoot. It depends on what tier that you go with. I went with the one that gave me the magazine. I think it was $75 a year. Don't quote me on that though. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, $75 a year. And again, when it comes to the NMRA, like I've had, and I was going to ask you, Split Rock, if you were going to be an NMR, and I forgot on your stream the other day. I had a hunch with your layout that I imagined that you were an MMR, and that's great to know. Yeah, I'm going to pick your brain with that layout. It's just freaking amazing. Oh yes, I actually had one question for you, Split Rock. I know about scratch building. Let's say if you 3D print individual parts for a box car or for like a cattle car, if you print it out like it was in a spruce and then cut it all out, and then put it together, is that considered scratch building? Because you design, as long, again, and also if, as long as you design it in CAD, that's your own work, and you don't take it from someone else, obviously. If you design all the parts in CAD, if you print it out individually, and if you build it all together, is that considered scratch build? Or does it have to be, you gotta buy styrene, you gotta buy the wood, and go that route? Because if I can 3D print my parts, I'm set. Because I'm learning more and more about CAD, and I'm having a crap ton of fun with it. Awesome, Split. You're gonna be my representative from NMR. Now I've got I can start picking your brain, which is great. And what's interesting is that both my wife and I want to go for NMR. So, yeah, and that's what I was wondering. I feel like that's cheating, though, in my humble opinion. It's like, I 3D printed. Hang on, I'll grab it real quick. So, that's good to know. But as far as my skills, I feel like that's slightly cheating. But I get where I get what you're saying. So what's interesting is that I 3D printed this entire mini gondola car. The whole body's 3D printed. The trucks are 3D printed. I've got a little spacer, so it's NMRA compliant. And obviously, it's using everything else is legal for scratch building because these are just the parts that these are the standard parts. And what's interesting is that, yeah, based off that rule, this is scratch built, which I find that fascinating. Right, yep. Yeah, my wife and I, we were looking through the requirements, and we were printing them out because we're going to have this brain book for requirements. And yeah, you only need the 3 categories, right? Yeah. And it's 7 categories out of the 12 to get your certificate in the MMR. And that's why, yeah, and that's the big thing, because there's other parts. I was reading the requirements, like, I want to have a story. I know it's not necessarily required, but yeah, it comes down to details. It comes down to painting. Obviously, it's painting, weathering, decals still have to be applied to this, and that's where the parts. There's so much about it. And obviously, I would want to get details. I want to put a load in here. So it's just, yeah. Okay, it's 11 categories. There we go. I thought it was 12. I don't know why I was thinking 12. Yeah, you need 7. Yep. Yep. And I can't remember all the categories. I think there's electrical, which I know Heath just got. So that's definitely, and I'm big into electrical, so I'm going to be working on that one, because that one's really straightforward. And what's interesting, Split Rock, is if you remember Heat Stream from like when he originally started. That's right. Loads are not judged. Yeah. Yep. I don't have the requirements memorized. That's something I got to do better at. If you remember, Don Regal, I think that was his last name. No, or Don. He was on Heath's stream, way back about, or those who have followed Heath for a while now, Don was on Heath's channel about the whole NMRA stuff. He is actually my residential NMRA Lone Star region representative, which is hilarious. Yep. And those I will get through Samra. Cause I'm already doing a lot of work with Samra, and you guys seen all the freaking videos. Arthur is probably going to be a difficult one. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that one. Cause how would YouTubing work with all that? Yeah, elected official, the elected official one is another one I'm gonna have to look into, but yeah. You can also point that. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and I do a crap ton with Samra. I've been working with the NMRA division here. And that's the thing, is like I can do clinics here on the channel. I mean, technically I'm kind of doing it already, just more of a very informal setting. Like, I'm having a whole series on Digitrax. Yeah. Yep. Clinics are author points, yep. Yeah, so it's like reading through the requirements, like, it's tedious, but it's way doable. And, you know, my wife and I were looking through all the requirements, like, we're doing that already. My wife does the newsletter for Samurai. I do a lot of the social media. I'm in charge of the Facebook page, Facebook group. You know, I do all these live streams. I have this channel. So it's like we're just going through everything. It's like most of the stuff I can get started now. It just made sense to do it. So we're taking it slow because, again, I've got so much other stuff on my plate. And that's what kind of tipped me into doing the NMRA. Yeah, and I'm a nerd like that. I am absolutely nerd. I will definitely talk about a model of history. You guys know I talk about a lot of my turbines, the big boys, Union Pacific. Like, that's easy because I'm passionate about that. So that is great to know. And we do a lot of, even at Samra, we do a lot of, we just had the Boy Scouts recently at Samra. So it's like, that's, yeah, that's definitely easy. No doubt about it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Um, I think one of these days, Split Rock will do a special we'll do a live stream about NMRA stuff, because I think this is good information that we just need to talk. I'll let you know when I want to do that special, because I think that's really great information. Because I'm very fortunate. That's easy. Yeah, I've got logs. As a matter of fact, we do have a bean counter at Samra. So he automatically, each member in the club, he's already tracking. So I just got to go to him, and because we have a sign-in, sign-out log, which is golden. If you run a club or an organization, sign-in, sign-out log is mandatory for that reason too. So, yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for sharing this information, Split Rock. I greatly appreciate it. That's the type of stuff that is going to help anyone, really. Getting into the hobby, getting into the NMRA. Because before, I was really skeptical in the NMRA. I didn't... Let's just say my prior experiences with the NMRA weren't great. And I know a lot of people don't have access to NMRA where they're living. But The one down here was the best one I've seen yet. With the Lone Star Region 6 that I'm a part of, with Don heading it, and a few others. I've been very, very blessed to have a good NMRA division where I'm at. And they got me into it. Our president of Samurai is an MMR, and really convinced my wife and I to join up. And MMR is just something that I've been. It's just been. It's been in the back of my mind for a while now, and it's really not that different than I do for my real work too. So, it's something that I need to do, that I want to, and have fun with it. But the big thing for me is going to be kind of just scenery. I really want to get back into the grind of scenery work. Because again, I used to do a lot of scenery for Warhammer 40K. And I've been itching to do scenery stuff. That's why I've got my, we were talking about this piece right here of the modular scenery pieces. Because that's going to get my, my urge to do scenery again. That's the great thing about this interchangeable scenery system and modular system, is I can basically scenic whatever I want and interchange it at will. Bring it over to this piece. And as I stated earlier, I got the ops bug. I got the ops bug badly. So I've been thinking behind the scenes, how can I, and that's kind of what started the modular scenery pieces. So I eventually want to start getting some ops going on this layout. And again, what's great about that interchangeable system, if I get tired of one industry, I can always swap it out for another one. And that's kind of why too. That's one thing. Excuse me. That's why I'm leaning towards a card system. Like, if you're still there, question for you: what if you do ops? What system do you use? Just out of curiosity, because I'm leaning between carts and the switch lists from NMRA. Because I know Samurai uses the switch lists. Matter of fact, we'll take a quick field trip. Let's take a quick field trip. I just gotta find it now. I'll show you guys what a switch list looks like. I just gotta find the video. Let's see here. Yeah, and that's... So, call me crazy. I don't mind the entry work. Yeah, there is a lot of manual entry, so that makes sense. That's why I was just curious. I like the idea of the cards. So I've operated once on a layout that used them. It was super, super complex, but I kind of like the idea. Oh, I like the mechanics, I guess. All right, Rolfan K, take it easy. Yep, I'll see you Sunday as well. See you at the seminar. Yeah, and I've seen people do that too. Well, I'm one of those crazy persons that for this layout, I'm gonna be my own dispatcher, be my own operator, obviously, um, just to kind of role play the roles a little bit. Nice. And again, this layout is not perfect for ops. Like I said, this is originally designed for just going around in circles and park trains, but with the whole idea of being able to have these interchangeable industries, it got me thinking a lot more. And that being able to do ops is actually a lot more plausible than I realized. But again, there'll be a lot of pretending, a lot of assuming, but I like the idea. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go to here. So I do have one video of an op session we did Black Friday last year. So we were the yard masters of Narrow Pass, which is basically this giant yard here. And this is our NMRA instructed switch list. And it was pretty straightforward and intuitive. You had trains that you would have to build up. There are trains that would come in, and you would have to separate it and put it into these respective yards. So again, I am really blessed to have the Samurai family, San Antonio Motor Association. This is my local club. It's this huge layout. You guys have seen it on plenty of shorts, plenty of videos. But they 3 times a month they do operations. And so we have 3 yard masters, 20 trains, 1 dispatcher, which I'll be doing that tomorrow, because my goal is to get you guys a video of me dispatching this railroad. So we are initially started with yardmaster, because call me crazy, I love doing yardmaster stuff. It's just a nice little puzzle. So I basically put a GoPro on this. This is my shoulder mounted GoPro. So I don't wear a backpack, but basically it allows me to record this type of stuff. So you get kind of a POV perspective. And so what we were doing is trains that we needed to break apart. We had these little tabs that'll tell us exactly what cars we need to build and what cars we need to break apart into the yard. So this is basically us. My wife and I were doing the yard master duties. And so you can see her GP9 up there. The Missouri Pacific, mine's the Southern Pacific Ketachrome. And definitely having 2 people working this type of yard is really, really fun. Because she had the north side, I had the south side. And this is me just going through the list here. Now this is the only video that I did on this channel. I do have a second one I'm working on, but these are tedious to edit down, because these are 4-hour operating sessions, and there's a lot of downtime, which will make you guys bored. And I tried to edit them down, but this video took me a whole day of editing just to get down to 2 hours. They're not easy videos. So you can see this is me putting down these little tabs here. It's basically a rubber base with old school projector tokens is what we used here. And we're just identifying the cars here to build the next train. And this is a lot of fun. Tedious. Definitely tedious, but a ton of fun. So the club uses Easy DCC. And so this is just me building a train here. So I think this one was the maintenance of way that I was building. So the thing about editing, Papa John, the best advice that I could say is practice. Figure out, use a free program. I use Filmora. I got lucky enough with Filmora. I bought it when there was a lifetime software that you only had to pay it once to get all the updates. And that's one I just got used to, and just to edit it. But every person has their own unique editing style, and only you through practice and time and will discover what works best for you. So it's just practice, experimentation. Yeah. But yeah, that's that's pretty much ops. Building another train here. Now, one thing that we were doing wrong in this video that I forgot to put in here. Well, I didn't realize it till a little bit later. You've got to build these cars in the exact order from top to bottom. We were kind of cherry picking the train, and as a result, it wasn't putting the freight into blocks. It wasn't until a little bit later we realized, oh, you actually got to get these particular cars from top to bottom in that order, so that way later down the road when that train goes to a particular destination, it's blocked. So, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you understand the system, it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, that's our ops video. If you want to see it in full, I'll pop the link down. And let's take it from there. So there's that video. And that's why I'm thinking of doing the card cards, because then you guys get to see two different styles of operations. You get to see the NMRA switch list at Samurai, and then you guys can see the card car system here. So that way you guys can, if you want to dive into this giant freaking rabbit hole of operations, you can determine what works best for you. But yeah, operation is so much fun. All right, take your time, Pop John. Take your time. But when it comes to operations, I tend not to record, because for me, operations is kind of like my escape to ensure that the hobby still stays fun for me. When I'm doing a lot of the fun runs that Samurai offers, I'm more in a work mode, because I'm doing a lot of filming for the channel. I'm doing a lot of the camera videos you see, the 360 videos. 100% most of the shorts come from the fun runs. Fun run basically at Samurai is that you bring your own train and you can run it on the layout in one direction. So we go, if I remember correctly, southbound on fun runs. And that is where I get, my bread and butter content, which is my shorts. Which, one more thing. Oh man, I almost forgot to announce this. That just reminded me. Thank you guys so much for we just broke 1,800 subscribers. We are 1,800 people, family strong. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. For those of you who watch the stream, for those of you who lurk, for those of you who watch it on the replay, again, I cannot thank you enough for all the support. It is crazy the amount of support that this channel is getting lately. It's, again, this is your guys' achievement. I'm just You know, a general person who loves model railroading, who is a geek and nerd when it comes to the hobby. I've been doing it for about 20 years. And it is the world's greatest sandbox hobby. So you guys are killing it. We're definitely on the road to 2,000, which is insane to think about. That I've been going hardcore with this channel for about a year now, ever since we moved here in San Antonio. And the fact that we're almost at 2K at 1 year is crazy to think about. So again, thank you for making this achievement happen and possible. So definitely on our way to 2,000. Crazy to think about. All right, so I think what we need to do now, let's get you guys. Which camera should we do? I know. I think it's time for you guys to get on board this train. Let's get our POV train perspective. Alright, so I'm going to grab the controller. We'll grab our car. So we'll do kind of a mini operations. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pick up the camera car so we get you guys on board. And I keep forgetting that this thing does not like switches. Alright. Ooh, is that gonna be able to pull it? Yeah, we got it. Alright, so take it nice and slow here. I kind of struggle with the weight a little bit. Alright, so welcome aboard the Manta Way train, Utah 9007. In the front we have our Athearn ready to roll. This is the operator's choice line. So basically it has a economy decoder from Soundtracks. And the model is an SD40 locomotive. So you can see coming up onto the right there, the modular scenery there with our buildings. And we're going to see if this engine can pull this consist up the hill. Struggling a little bit. Yeah, it's got it. Alright. So now that we know that this engine can push and pull the consist, I'll pick up the speed a little bit so it has a little bit more momentum going up the hill. So yeah, Phoenix Point behind me is a little bit of an incline. It's about probably a 0.5 degree incline. Maybe a little less, but there is an incline there. Um, to be honest, BCI parts, I didn't realize that this line from Ready to Roll from Athearn was even a thing. It wasn't until I bought this engine I realized, oh, this is the operator's choice. So the operator's choice brings it's basically a sound and a very cheap decoder in it. So you can hear it in the background. I just keep it on mute. Sounds good though. So yeah, but Athearn does have the Ready to Roll DCC ready, and this is the operator's choice, which like I said has DCC in it. But yeah, everyone has their own line. It makes it super confusing. I just wish they would keep it plain and simple. No DCC, DCC ready, has DC. But they got to get fancy with all the branding and all that. It is what it is. Yeah, I didn't even realize Atlas had their own differences. Like, I had to look it up. It's like, wait a minute, this is silver, this is gold. What's the difference? It gets so confusing. And don't get me started with scale trains. Sometimes I just gotta read the description and then go from there. Alright, Split Rock, take it easy, good sir. Thank you so much for dropping by, and thank you for all the wonderful knowledge. Because that is always half the battle. Have a good one. A little bit of wheel slip from the diesel. And you can kind of see it speeds up a little bit going on the downward end. Alright, let's get you guys that one die. Yep, that one's dead. Camera down. That's fine. Alright. So again, you can kind of see our new addition to the layout. The small prototype scenic piece. And then the sticker wall. And then on to Phoenix Point. Should really have two locomotives with this up. This one is kind of struggling. I can't wait to add more pieces to this layout like that. You can do it. Yeah, definitely a heavy train. Get you guys that bridge perspective. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today on a Friday evening. Watching train go around circles. The ghetto bridge. A zombie train. That's actually not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Doesn't, I think Bernard from Mini Prince makes zombie figurines. I actually have to think about that because I've been wanting to do, so I love doing themes for holidays. So obviously you guys saw a lot of the Freedom Train for 4th of July. I do need a Halloween train and a Christmas train. Now, Christmas train I've already started on. Got a couple pieces lined up for that one. But for the Halloween theme, it could be a zombie train. That's interesting. I have to think about that. I know, right? Well, that's a good thing about mini prints. That's a great thing about 3D design in general. It fills the gaps in the marketplace and the market share. I think he's got skeletons too. No. One day. That's been a big goal for Bernard, is try to hit all these train shows. So if you want to get scanned. You never know. Never say never. Never know. All right. And here we are getting ready to pass the new scenery on the right. I don't know if Bernard tried to scan a real dog. I don't know. I'm not sure if his scan is big enough, or his rotating stand is big enough. I don't know. Would be a good question for him. Yeah, I don't know. So that's the thing about it. Bernard has a lot of experience with scanning. I'm not sure if shadows would cause an issue. I don't know. Bernard's a wizard when it comes to that type of technology. I'm only now dabbing into 3D printing. And I think I know what Bernard uses to do this actual scan. Because I think I found the company and I do want to buy one too. Because I thought of being able to 3D print something that, let's say something's broken and I need to 3D print a new one. I just scan that item, 3D print it so I can replace it. Especially in this hobby. So, hi, Sarah. Get you guys the back view here. But yeah, each of these sides of the modulars, I can envision having some sort of scenery on this on the sides, or at least on one side. Because you can kind of see here as we drive past it, you can see how that extra piece is kind of attached to the side of that modular. I can envision that for all of these sides. So to my understanding, the way it works is that the program is actually a CAD program where the scanner actually scans you into a physical object into CAD proper. So it's not necessarily, I don't want to say, I mean, I don't know how you define a 3D image. I think your 3D image is what I call a CAD object. So I think that's how it works. And then from there, Bernard basically takes that object in the computer-aided design or the CAD program and is able to fine-tune it so that way he can make a file to 3D print it with his resin printer. But he's got that down to an art form, which is great. Yeah, I don't know how you would actually scan like a real life steam engine. That is beyond me. I don't think anyone has attempted to do that. Or just any big, I mean, you can do like small objects to a reasonable size. I don't know about like anything bigger than, let's say, like a car or something. You know, I keep talking about mini prints. Let me drop this link in real quick as well. Actually, I'll drop a couple things. since I've been shouting him out, I should do the proper thing, which is cite my material. So there's Mini Prince's main website, and we'll grab his YouTube channel as well. Ba-ba-ba. Oh yeah, guys. Mini Prince is really close to 1,000 subscribers. Ooh, good thing I remembered that. So let's get him to 1,000. He said that once he hits 1,000, he'll do a site sale. So if you guys are not subscribed to Mini Prince, definitely subscribe to Mini Prince. Great content over there. He does a live stream, I believe, is the first Wednesday of each month. So yes, let's get him to 1,000. And on this channel, I typically showcase his subscription box of the month. Normally, I'm not a fan of subscription boxes and mystery boxes and so forth, but I love the concept of this one because you get basically for 23 bucks a month, you get a box of Mini Prince, typically his new line of products. And you can see a couple of videos on my channel showcasing those things, because sometimes you get exclusive minions with those. So definitely check him out. Great dude. Let's get him to 1,000. And since he's mostly at these train shows, you can get kind of a sneak peek. The wave modular. The only thing that's missing from this consist is a crane. Now Bachman has a kind of really small crane that I've been eyeing to fit with this set. But I need some sort of crane. Let's bring up Harbor Points here. I think I'm going to, well, no, this camera's still good. I'll need it for when I build a new modular here. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of this camera angle anymore. Oh, hey. There's a cat on the floor. Hi, Sarah. Yeah. So, you guys haven't seen her yet, I think, on the stream. So, that is Mary's twin sister, Sarah. She is a daddy's girl. She also likes to scar up my face. All upside down. Okay, let's get you to Phoenix Point. You come this way? Sure. She's like, nope, I'm comfortable on the spot. You know what? I'm just gonna pick you up. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. There you go. Yeah. This is Sarah. Oh, come on. I know. She's a little mad. There, you can stay there. See, do you like that spot? And there's no scratch. No, she's usually good when I pick her up. She likes to just lay it on my neck when I'm sleeping. And the problem is when she gets scared or jolts or something, she will just scratch my face. So we'll take you to the cat cam. Oh, this way. There we go. Kitten. Kitten, kitten, kitten. So that's kind of why I put these, if you guys are wondering what these blankets are here for, it's to give the cats their own space. So that way they're close to me, they're not on the layout, they can see the entire layout. And it's been working. And I have my conductor. Yeah, I'll bring out the big layouts. But yeah, slowly and surely we're getting this layout where I wanted to eventually go to. It's crazy to think about it. It's almost been a year since we moved here and kind of got this layout started. So kind of a few things moving forward. I got this morning you guys kind of got a special treat. I accidentally goofed on my video scheduling. So I actually released 2 videos this morning. So that was a big goof on my part. Yeah. Oh, bless you. My inspector. Yes, I'm doing my job. Everyone's safe, kitten. But yeah, I accidentally released 2 videos this morning, so you got a mini rail fanning of the Orient Express, and you got another cab ride on the Atlantic SP. So definitely an oopsie. Was not intended, and YouTube kind of punished me a little bit for not necessarily spam, but the algorithm definitely punished me as spam. So it's like, oh no, Eric A and C, how are you, good sir? Hopefully all is well. Alright, BCF Parts, take it easy. Have a good night. Also, guys, when it comes to streaming, obviously next Friday, I will not be streaming as well. We will be in Dallas at the Trainshow. And I'll try, again, No promises. We'll try a live stream from there. It just depends on the internet quality. Yep, we got my version of the Manta Way train. So I basically got a UP plow on the front, Utah Railway, and then the rest of the Manta Way. Like I said, I do need a crane for this train. But I am definitely excited. Thank you. Get you guys back on board. So yeah, no stream next Friday, at least here from the layout. We'll try to get some live streams from the NMRA Grapevine Trainshow. If not, we'll definitely record it all. But yeah, I got a few more videos coming out this week also. Kind of got them on scheduled. Plenty, got another 360 video. Plenty of kit building videos for freight. This snowplow was actually a video. It was more of a repair video because I accidentally dropped the snowplow and it was in a ton of pieces. And so I kind of show you guys how I just repair things. Got some more rail fanning videos. And then still working on my mega project video, which I'm excited for. I got more done on that video, but it's currently 2 months in the making. That sounds familiar. Let me take a look at the channel real quick. I'm subscribed to him. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I gotta watch his scratch building on his dozer. Just haven't had the time. Been so busy. making videos. It got a lot of videos kind of scheduled all the way till September. Yeah, really. And see, that's the kind of level I want to get to eventually. Just being able to take something and scratch building into something that's completely unique. I like the concept of that. And especially since now I'm getting more experience with 3D printing and CAD work. Definitely want to go down that rabbit hole. Oh, that's great to hear. Great to hear, Icey. Roundhouse, that's awesome. Yeah, S-Scale got a lot of love from Scale Trains lately. I did a video on that. Scale Trains is coming out with their cabooses. Yeah, the train news has been kind of it's been not a lot of train news lately. At least the stuff that I'm interested in. And I think they're just getting ready for the train show to announce all the new lines. Yep, there you go. And I'm glad that they're doing the undecorated coaches as well, because that was one of the feedbacks we gave them when they were visiting Samurai, was that I like the idea of undecorated. There's much more flexibility with that. You know, they may not be a good seller. But yeah, come September, hopefully we'll get those GS4s in. Oh, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for those GS4s to come in. Yeah. Again, there's a reason why I call it the world's greatest sandbox hobby. Because it's endless. It's a sandbox. You can do whatever you want. From modular construction to permanent layouts to having your own layout. I mean, it's just great. You know, it's all relative, ANC. It's all relative. I spend money on silly stuff too. You know, this hobby, I do have a dedicated budget for it. But, you know, there's other stuff that we get to. I want to make a yes, absolutely. If you see what Split Rock has done with his freelanced railway, it's a it's a nice standard to have, or a great goal, I should say. Not stuff. I'm the same way. I got things that does not relate to trains as well, and I do like the idea of having my own freelanced railway. But I think that'll come a little bit later when I get a more permanent, well, retirement house, I should say. And when I get my railway built, because I want to have a whole story behind the permanent layout side. And I like it having like an Icey themed railway to match the Icy Dragon concept. So like I like the color schemes of the rock. Not necessarily one shade of blue, but maybe a different white, obviously, maybe a darker blue. I gotta think about the color scheme a little bit more, but I do like the idea of customizing an entire railway and having a story behind it. There was I still gotta finish watching a podcast, but Thunder Mesa on here on YouTube. He was talking about storytelling, and I always love the idea of storytelling. I try to do it here, but it's a little bit difficult because the layout's not ready yet to be presented as a story, so I'm more presenting the hobby than a story. There you go. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with styrene and cardboard. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's the fun part about it. And it's like one day what I really want to do, especially on these live streams, is I want to give the role play aspect of it, especially for the ops. So it's like, on storytelling days, we'll have like an engineer walk to a engine, grab it from the yard. It'll get dispatched here from the table, and it'll go out and do its operations, and then go get parked again. So that's where I differ. I I don't weather my stuff. I don't graffiti my stuff. I like the idea that my railway particularly will just be, they try to make presentation a high priority. So, they'll wash their cars, take the graffiti off, and so forth. There'll be some things, obviously, that I'll buy that may have that stuff on it. But for the most part, I'm one of those people that I like my stuff clean. And as far as like prototypical dispatching and all that, I'll make all that stuff up. Like I'll try to keep like the standards to prototypical, but well, I won't like model off of a real place. I don't know. It's as I go. Like for example, I'm pretending that this little siding right here with that building, it's just going to be a building that a boxcar will go to load and unload. Oh, good luck on your helix. Good luck with the helix. Yeah, I'm not too far behind though. I kind of gotta save my voice for my dispatching tomorrow. Okay. So let's go ahead and I think what we'll do is we'll park this guy on the siding. So let me get I've got switch number 3 thrown. Let's do this one actually. You know what? I bet you this is going to derail on me. I gotta take it slow. Hey, it took the siding. I say that now. That's one cool thing about Digitrax and LocalNet. I can control the turnouts from my throttle. Alright, so we'll slowly creep into the siding here. Alright. And we'll stop it right there. Alright, guys. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, next Friday and Saturday, go to our community page. You'll see kind of the schedule, and I also will be posting updates from that thread as well. So if there's anything changes, if we'll do some additional meet and greets, you know, it'll be on that community post. So again, no stream next Friday. Hey, Nick Amtrak. Unfortunately, we are wrapping things up. So again, next weekend we will be. It's all good. Catch us on the replay. So yes, we will be at Grapevine next weekend at the NMRA Trainshow, and hopefully, again, I can't promise that the live stream will work considering with internet and all that. So I'll make an attempt. I can promise you that. We'll make an attempt to live stream from there, and if not, we'll record. We'll take pictures. We'll do all that stuff. So, and then hopefully we'll get our big boy 4018 on the channel. Our very first big boy. So that's gonna be fun. But with the guys, thank you so much. Have a safe weekend, and wing hugs to you guys, and have a great night.